Have you ever picked up a hitchhiker on a lonely road, only to have them vanish into thin air? What if that gas station you stopped at never really existed? Stay with us because tonight, we uncover the terrifying truth behind real-life road trip horror stories that will leave you questioning every mile you drive. In this video, we're exploring 6 chilling road trip horror stories. These tales are not just urban legends, but are based on real events that have terrified and puzzled people. We'll take you through eerie encounters with vanishing hitchhikers, ghostly gas stations, disappearing campers, stalkers in the woods, haunted tunnels, and phantom trucks. Each story is more unsettling than the last, and they all share one thing in common: the unknown. These stories will tap into your deepest fears and curiosities, making you question every strange noise and shadow you encounter on the road. So buckle up and stay with us until the end, because you won't want to miss a single spine-chilling detail. These stories will make you think twice before your next road trip. Let's get started with our first terrifying tale: the vanishing hitchhiker. Picture this: a couple driving through the lonely highways of the American Southwest, where the vast, empty landscape stretches out endlessly under a sky that seems almost too big. The sunsets cast long shadows over the cracked pavement, and the couple, seeking adventure, are about to encounter something far more unsettling than they ever imagined. The air grows cooler as night falls, and the highway becomes eerily quiet with no other cars in sight. As darkness envelops the road, the couple spots a lone hitchhiker standing on the shoulder, her silhouette barely visible in the dim light. Compassion overcomes caution, and they decide to offer her a ride. She appears fragile and distressed, wearing a thin, tattered dress and shivering in the cold. As she climbs into the back seat, she thanks them with a trembling voice, explaining she has been in an accident and desperately needs to get to the nearest town. Her eyes are wide with fear, and she nervously glances around, as if expecting something or someone to appear. Grateful for the ride, the hitchhiker relaxes slightly and engages in a hesitant conversation with the couple. They try to comfort her, but something about her demeanor remains unsettling. As they drive, the couple occasionally glances back to check on her, but at one point when they turn to ask another question, their hearts stop. She's gone. The seatbelt is still fastened, and her presence lingers like a fading scent, but there's no sign of her. When they turn to ask her a question, she was gone, as if she never existed. Shaken and confused, they continue to the nearest town and head straight to the police station to report the bizarre incident. The officers exchange glances before revealing a chilling fact. They were told that the woman had died in a car accident on that very stretch of road years ago. The couple leaves, haunted by the spectral encounter, the memory of the hitchhiker's haunting eyes burned into their minds. In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, a group of friends is running low on fuel. The winding roads and dense forests create an eerie atmosphere as night falls. The air is thick with the scent of pine and the occasional rustle of wildlife. They stumble upon an old gas station, its flickering neon sign a beacon in the darkness. The station looks like a relic from another time, with weathered wood and peeling paint. An elderly attendant shuffles out from the shadows, his demeanor as ancient and out of place as the station itself. His face is etched with deep lines, and his eyes hold a distant, almost haunted look. He fills their tank and with a grave expression, warns them of the danger ahead. His words hang heavy in the air. "Be careful on the road ahead." The friends feel a chill run down their spines as they thank him and continue on their way. Not far from the station, they encounter a massive rock slide that has rendered the road impassable. Boulders and debris block their path, forcing them to stop. Their hearts race as they recall the attendant's warning. They decide to turn back and thank the old man for the heads up, feeling a strange urgency to see him again. But when they reach the spot where the gas station stood, they find nothing but an empty clearing. The gas station has vanished without a trace. When they went back to thank the attendant, the gas station was gone, vanished into thin air. Perplexed and unnerved, they ask locals about the gas station. The response is chilling. That old gas station has been abandoned for decades, ever since a tragic accident claimed several lives there. The friends leave, their minds racing with the eerie encounter, the old man's warning echoing in their ears. A couple decides to camp in the remote Rocky Mountains, seeking solitude and the beauty of nature. They find a secluded spot surrounded by towering trees and set up their tent. As night falls, an unsettling quiet blankets the forest, amplifying every rustle and creak. The isolation that initially felt serene now feels ominous. Their unease grows as strange noises echo through the trees, and they spot a mysterious light flickering in the distance. The light moves erratically, casting eerie shadows. They huddle together, trying to rationalize the noises and the light, but their fear mounts with every passing minute. Eventually, exhaustion overtakes them, and they manage to fall asleep. Morning brings a horrifying discovery. Their campsite has been ransacked, and their car's tires are slashed. Personal items are strewn about, and their tent has deep scratch marks. They quickly pack up, their hearts pounding with fear, and hike to the nearest ranger station to report the incident. The ranger's response sends shivers down their spines. They learned that a camper had disappeared in that exact spot a year earlier. The couple leaves, the joy of their adventure replaced by a lingering dread. Once a place of beauty, the forest now feels like a sinister trap. Sarah embarks on a solo road trip, her spirit of adventure leading her to a secluded national forest. The isolation of the forest becomes apparent as she sets up her campsite, the dense trees closing in around her. The silence is almost oppressive, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves and distant animal calls. As she prepares her dinner, she senses eyes on her and spots a man watching from a distance. His presence is menacing, and his stare is unrelenting. Alarmed, she decides to move her campsite, putting more distance between herself and the unsettling figure. In the dead of night, she wakes to the sound of footsteps circling her tent. Heart pounding, she listens as the intruder gets closer, her fear mounting with every step. The footsteps stop and start as if someone is toying with her. She holds her breath, praying they'll leave. Sarah quickly packed up and left, only to find out later about the man arrested for stalking and attacking campers. Her solo adventure had nearly turned deadly, and the forest now held a new, terrifying significance. She vows never to camp alone again, haunted by the memory of the stalker. An old, abandoned tunnel with a notorious reputation stands before her groups of friends. Known locally as haunted, it has a tragic history that draws thrill-seekers and the curious alike. The tunnel's entrance yawns like a dark mouth, and the air around it feels heavy and foreboding. As they drive through, their car stalls in the middle of the tunnel. Darkness envelops them, and an eerie silence is broken only by their nervous whispers. They try to restart the car, but it remains stubbornly dead, trapping them in the oppressive darkness. Whispers and shadowy figures begin to appear, sending chills down their spines. The figures move just out of sight, glimpsed only in the corner of their eyes. They feel watched, their fear palpable as the minutes into what feels like hours. The whispers grow louder, echoing off the tunnel walls. After what felt like hours, the car finally started, and they sped out of the tunnel, later learning about its tragic history. The tunnel had claimed many lives, and the spirits were said to linger still, seeking closure or perhaps vengeance. The friends vow never to return, their brush with the paranormal too terrifying to forget. A family embarks on a road trip through the Nevada desert, the vast, open landscape a stark contrast to the looming threat that lies ahead. Night falls, casting the desert in an eerie, otherworldly glow. The road stretches endlessly before them, and the isolation becomes almost tangible. Suddenly, a pair of headlights appear behind them, gaining speed. The truck roars closer, its presence menacing and relentless. No matter how fast they drive, the truck keeps pace, its engine growling like a beast on their tail. Fear grips them as they realize they can't outrun it. When they finally stopped in a small town, the truck vanished into thin air. Relief turns to confusion and fear as they realize the truck is never truly there. The family is left shaken, the memory of the relentless pursuit haunting them. Locals share their own tales of the phantom truck, a spectral vehicle that haunts the roads, chasing those who dare to travel them at night. Its appearances are as mysterious as its disappearances, leaving more questions than answers behind. The family vows never to drive those roads at night again, and the legend of the phantom truck is forever etched in their minds. We've journeyed through the dark and eerie landscapes of the American Southwest, the Appalachian Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and beyond, encountering vanishing hitchhikers, ghostly gas stations, disappearing campers, stalkers in the woods, haunted tunnels, and phantom trucks. Each tale, steeped in fear and the unknown, leaves us with a lingering dread. These stories remind us that sometimes the scariest part of a road trip isn't the destination, but the journey itself. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something unexplainable on a road trip? Share your own road trip horror stories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more spooky tales. Until next time, safe travels if you dare.